What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the FantasyAlarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. We're looking at the Thursday 7-game DraftKings main slate starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have some day baseball on Friday, with it being the 4th of July. We'll have no live show on the 4th of July, so just preference that here as we look for the Thursday slate. Another day of live coming Thursday night to get ready for this 7-game main slate here. Grande. We got like a nice little example lineup going, right? We had the Whitcomb home run, we had the Seager home run. Myers is having an okay day. Ozuna had a good day. Hunter Brown's got a bunch of strikeouts. Shota, maybe if he can pull off a win, won't be too bad for what his pricing was. Hopefully we can kind of keep that going here as we look at this 7-game slate. We have no Coors on this 7-gamer. Coors is part of, I guess, the afternoon slate.
That's it.
No Tampa Bay and no Sacramento either. So all of the major ballparks that we look at for offense not here. We might have some rain in New York. I guess that's something to watch. Milwaukee and the Mets. But other than that, kind of looking to roll here. Robbie Ray, $10,000. Brian Wu gets that Kansas City matchup at 97 as your top 2 price starting pitchers on this slate. Chalk, the last couple of days has just been the sort of the Seattle pitcher versus Kansas City offense. So we mentioned our boy Ernie Emerson Hancock had himself a tough go. Logan Gilbert, didn't have a great start to his Seattle experience. They're currently down 1-0 in the third. So maybe he's starting to come back around there. 4 strikeouts through 3 is good. So he'll probably finish strong there. We should have full confidence probably in Brian Wu in this spot then, right?
Full confidence in Brian Wu. I would even play Robbie Ray. I don't good pitchers in tough spots. I don't ever really necessarily shy away from. So I'd play either of them. I lean Wu, but I would also play Robbie Ray as well.
Yeah. I mean, Ray versus Arizona, obviously a tougher matchup for him, but he's also been really good. But Wu at 97 certainly feels like it fits the bill there. You have Clark Schmidt on the road against Toronto. David Peterson at home against Milwaukee. Again, we'll watch the weather there. Seth Lugo at $8,300. It's the other side of that Seattle matchup. But I'm once again sort of just gravitating towards Dustin May at $7,800 here against the White Sox.
Yeah, he was really bad the other day. He just doesn't. I don't know what happened, but he just doesn't miss bats anymore. It's weird. This
was a tough strikeout matchup per se. I understand Kansas City struck out more lately, but yes, obviously not the start many were expecting out of him in that Kansas City spot.
It just in general more so. He just is not missing bats in general. Peterson coming off. I guess a start against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the best team in the history of baseball. So, you can expect him to get rocked, right? Because, again, Pittsburgh is on, they just win every game now. But 8,500 is good for the pitcher he's been. Lugo was really good for a third straight start. It's a pretty impressive stretch. I mean, he's been pretty dominant against the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Rangers. 25 fantasy points or more in 3 straight. So that would probably be the direction I'd go. I'd probably play Lugo over most of these other guys in this range.
Lugo, okay. Seattle. So would you mind pitching both pitchers in that game, or?
Well, he's just been really good. Okay. He's been objectively better than anyone else in that range. I on a 7-game slate, I don't necessarily mind using pitchers from the same game.
Okay. Bass against the Yankees. We know obviously Bass is trouble versus lefties, and there's going to be a lot of them in that Yankees lineup for him to potentially have some trouble with. Pick the Soriano game. We thought Washington is man, look at this guy with the strikeouts and the runs, and he gets hammered. On it was just a bad pitching day, I think, in anyways, right? Just a bad pitching day for us that day with all the mid-range guys getting kind of blown up there. So you have Soriano, Bassett, Quintana, and Ortiz in the 7K range. Again, I don't really have much interest and anybody outside of May. And I understand your concerns with May in that 7K grouping. But for a 7-game slate, there isn't really a lot of other good looking. I mean, would you go Fott versus San Francisco? I mean, he hasn't been awful.
I have three names I would play.
Okay.
Fott is one of them. The strikeouts are back up the last 2 starts, but like good strikeout spots for it. He's just not pitching deep into games. That's the problem. He's like 80 pitches through 5 like every start. Jose Quintana would be one. The Mets have been the worst team in baseball against lefties over the last month.
Okay.
I think they are last in OPS, WOBA, most categories against left-handed pitching. So 7,200 for Quintana. If the Mets are going to continue to be dreadful, that's something I'd explore. Fought, and then I know Cade Horton got rocked in that Houston start, and I know he wasn't great in the Seattle start. We've talked about it a lot. We've talked about that Seattle series in general, but the wind was blowing out. So I don't mind going back to the Cade Horton well at 6,200. And that's mainly because the Guardians are atrocious.
Okay. Yeah, you've obviously been more on them against lefties, but you're good here versus the righty matchup as well.
I mean, they don't hit.
Okay.
They just don't hit. They are just an atrocious offense that doesn't hit. So just in the off chance, yeah, they're also a major league offense that might, every squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Yeah.
But like, what is the scary part of that lineup that's not Jose Ramirez? And he hits from both sides of the plate. So like, Kyle Manzardo hasn't been good, really. I wouldn't be surprised if he's hitting 220.
Sure.
Stephen Kwan isn't hitting as nearly as well as he was last year. They replaced, Nolan Jones on Hill. It's just not like on a slate with bad pitching and bad options. 6,200. I feel like you could do worse than 6,200 Cade Horton.
Sure. I don't really disagree either. I mean, obviously, given the matchup there. Anything else that you'd look at?
No.
Okay. Catcher we go then. Cal Raleigh, 6'3", did not play did not start at least on the Wednesday slate. So all assuming he is back in the lineup here against Lugo. Will Smith, Ben Rice gets Bassett. You want to talk again, lefty versus Bassett. Rice had himself a decent game here on Wednesday. Anybody else in that top group you'd look at?
Smith homered in his first at bat on Wednesday. He's really good at baseball. They have a lot of opportunity to hit a lot of home runs against Aaron Savali and his fly ball rate. So Rice is the guy that stands out the most to me. Rice is fine though.
Okay. Let's see here. Mid-range for you? Do we go back to O'Hop? I know he's been striking out a lot, but power.
Bryce Elder's,
That's what I'm saying, right? Not gonna miss bats. Not gonna miss bats. So
he has allowed many runs in his last 3 starts. Like more runs than you probably would guess if you had to guess a number.
Sure. Kyle Teal against May, if you're not there.
Yeah, Kyle Teal looks good. Murphy hit another tank. All Sean Murphy does is start and hit home runs now. That's all he does.
Yep. Torrens versus Quintana.
Yep. I think the Mets look terrible. So I'm more so they have not been able to hit lefties. So I'm gonna stick by that data. So
okay.
Torrens also has had a lot of unlucky. When you look at a lot of his StatCast stuff, he's been quite unlucky. So for what that's worth.
Okay. Anything else for him?
No.
Okay. First base position. Otani obviously up here at 64. Vladdy, Alonso, Matt Olson. Again, Soriano doesn't give up a lot of home runs, but he's there at $5,000. You got a favorite first baseman on this group?
Yeah, the actual first baseman in this group, Shohei Otani.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The only first baseman there.
He's good at versatility. That's probably going to play up well. Bush versus Ortiz. We do talk about Ortiz's home run propensity versus lefties. Can play Rice there. Reese is 41. Shanuel versus Elders 39. If you weren't Horton, Manzardo does at least have some power at 37.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what the wind, I guess, is blowing out in that game too. Maybe, right? Could be a directional game for that. Anything else at first?
Miguel Vargas, but that's probably it.
Okay. Second base, we go Ketel Marte up at the top at 6K. Gets the lefty and Robbie Ray. Bryce Trang is there against Peterson. This is not a great position. Not a great position. I'll just say it again. I'll double tap the same comment. Anything that you like that I'm missing here?
Not up top. You could probably make a case for Nico Horner just because he's been good. He's hit all 3 of his home runs this year in the last 10 games. Edmund 36, Jimenez. I guess it's just monitor the Bo Bichette stuff because he missed another game and they led Jimenez off. He has 5 hits in his last 2 games. Yeah. He also got hurt. He got spiked. So I would be interested to see. And he's limping around. I wonder if Jimenez even plays. But if he plays and leads off, I'd play Jimenez.
Okay. Let's see. Any other value that you'd look at?
No.
Okay. Third base then. Jose Ramirez versus Horton is 56. Jazz, third base only on the slate, 5K. Eugenio's 49. Devers versus Fod. If there was a breakout spot for Devers, Brandon Fod versus lefties would be it. Muncie's 47, so definitely a healthy group here.
Yeah, you could play any of them. Eugenio is probably the one that but you can always play him in a tournament because he has a lot of power. But I probably prefer the others over him. I mean, we know how good lefties have been against Fod.
Yeah.
And lefties have been against Bassett. And Jose Ramirez is, that dude.
Yeah, very, very good player. Mid-range for us?
Oh, Muncie.
Yeah, Muncie and Barger.
Love the Muncie spot. Barger hits. He's very good at baseball.
A lot of homers there.
Yeah, powerful dude.
You've liked Durbin versus lefties. He's 32.
Yeah, he's fine. He's been good. Hasn't played in back-to-back games, but I think there was. I don't know why he played, or they're playing that Siegler kid over him.
Okay.
So I don't know. They played him They played Siegler in back-to-back games. So I don't know.
Anything? There's not really else much here for value. Anything you like?
No.
Okay. Shortstop then. Lindor did homer. They moved him out of the leadoff spot because he's been struggling so much. And homered today off Mizrowski. Gets a lefty at 54. Bobby Witt. Zach Nato versus Elder feels pretty good.
Yep.
At 5K. And then after that, somewhere down in the value tier.
Adames.
Yeah, you always shout Adames, but probably right at some point the homers will come. Joey Ortiz has hit lefties well. There you go, just homered.
No, not just now. Homered on Wednesday. Hit a homer on Wednesday. Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, 3K. Yeah.
Dude, he's been good. He's had some big games lately.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
You could always play like JP Crawford or something.
Yeah, exactly. Outfield, top guys, obviously there's Judge. He's pretty good. He homered on Wednesday, $6,500. Ohtani, probably a good spot to get in the Cubs here against Ortiz at Tucker and Armstrong.
Yeah, the lefties look great.
Right?
The lefties look great.
Good spot to get back in there. Let's see.
Yelich and Chorio and back-to-back on Thursday in the second game.
Okay.
Yelich has just been on one for quite a while.
So
So is Springer. Springer's had an insane series against the Yankees.
okay. Yeah, Springer, right, and he got like hurt briefly there too. Bellinger, though he only homers versus lefties. Ward versus Elder at 45.
Yep. Teoscar, Pajes just homered.
Yep.
And Teoscar had the day off, but he'll hit right in the middle of that Dodgers lineup on
Ian Happ lead off versus Ortiz. Yes,
Yep,
Yaz
great one.
homered. Got him versus Fott 41. Joe Adell always live, especially versus Elder.
I'm happy he's 4K because like makes it a little, not as easy to click at 3,500 and people are just getting a home run every night.
Yeah, I agree. What else are we looking at for value here?
I mean, you can play Canzoni. Obviously, Jurickson Profar is going to have a blood test after the game.
What? Because he hit a ball almost out of the stadium tonight? What do you mean?
First game back after steroid suspension.
He was hitting really well at AAA during the rehab, so
I'm sure. Yeah, rehab. Is that what we're calling it? We're calling it a
that's
rehab.
what they're calling it. Yeah, rehab. Yeah.
Is that what they actually called it? A rehab?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
What is he rehabbing? His
Steroids,
ego?
his needles,
his ego? Yeah. Yeah, the needle marks.
Needle spot.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna hit him fifth, like it is what it is. He's gonna be. It's a fairly decent spot. It could be a terrible spot depending on what Jose Soriano's sinker is doing.
Yeah.
Because if it's sinking, you have no shot. If it's not sinking, he's the worst pitcher. He's throwing a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. So, interested in Profar. Dominguez had another 2 hits. He's been really, really good lately. No home runs, but he's making up for it speed. Big G hit a home run, first one of the year. Isaac Collins in the first game of the doubleheader was 4 for 4 with a home run. That guy's been pretty good. Luke Raley, you could play it first and the outfield. Soler homered.
Sure.
Does that wake him up? He has back-to-back games with RBIs.
Yeah. Did you mention biceps?
I did not mention biceps yet.
I mean, May, as you mentioned, hasn't been great. Benintendi
has biceps.
Yeah.
Hits home runs. He's been hitting he hit a lot of home runs in June.
Yeah. That might be it.
Yeah, can't play McCarthy here. That's sad. Or we don't have my boy what's my boy's name? Alejandro Ozuna. We don't have him tonight.
Yeah.
To get us through the tough times here, John.
That's true. Cags is 28, but
Yeah, I already give up on that dream that we were going to start promoting him until I'm just kidding. He's 28. That's a good price. Yeah. Obviously he's going to hit eventuly.
That's how I look at it. That's
hopefully for his sake.
That's certainly the hope. All right,
for his sake, I hope.
So we did Brian Wu, and then what?
Brian Wu, and then what is a good question, Johnny. It's a great question. Brian Wu. I'm even just like looking through the value range. Oh, Grishik has a lefty. He's been good too. It's gonna be a tough slate to spend up on. Ian Happ for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you said that you liked Quintana here versus the Mets.
Yes. Let's see how this works. I'm gonna try to open Fangraphs. And keyword is try here because I can't promise anything. Let's see how Fangraphs treats me here today, John. Let's hope it treats me well,
Sure.
Okay. So on the year, the Mets are 17th now, on the 17th in OPS, 19th in ISO, 15th in WOBA, and 13th in WRC Plus. Since June 1st, we'll call it that a month, right?
Yeah.
Since June 1st, the Mets, John, have a 62 WRC Plus. That is tied for the worst in baseball with the Athletics. They are also 30th in WOBA. They are 28th in ISO, and they are 30th in OPS. So they're 30th in 3 categories and 28th in OPS or in ISO.
Okay. So Quintana it is.
Quintana it is.
Now we have $4,100. I mean, we're not going May, right? So 4,100. Do we want Yankees versus Bassett here? You mentioned Ohtani.
Ian Happ. That is the one plug right away. Cubs against
Okay.
our guy there.
Would you do Benintendi then, just to get another value in this?
Yeah, Mr. Biceps is okay.
All right, so that's 4,300. Second base. I don't think we had like a good value play anywhere else in the infield.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think so. I was looking at that as well.
It's like Durbin, 32. Renjifo's been a little bit better. He'll hit from the left side versus Elder.
Yeah, yeah. Renjifo's fine. I was going to say Jimenez if he's in the lineup. If he's leading, especially if he's leading off again. They let Jimenez off on the Wednesday slate.
If you did just a one-off Ohtani,
Austin Slater, the lefty killer,
did
it again.
Be a homer.
He sure did.
With her men on base.
There sure were.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, man. I guess man on base.
A man on base.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we do Wu, Quintana, Teal, Renjifo, Happ, and Benintendi, you get $5K a play.
Yeah, it's good. You that easy get to easy Ohtani, easy Paez, easy like
just
all
like
these
Ohtani Tucker. Look at Ohtani Tucker. Renjifo, Happ, Benintendi.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, second and short, $3,800 left to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right,
I like that.
That's what we'll give you guys, and then we'll be back live at 5 to do it all over again with some latest news and lineup information to get you ready for this Thursday slate. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you later.